Hi, my name is Sue Mimm, and I live in Austria with my family and my dogs, Charlie and Layla. And I'm a dog trainer and a behavior consultant. And before I started the pet communication Quickstart with Joanne, before I started working with her, I put a lot of emphasis on communication, obviously, because for me it's really important that people learn to understand their dog's body language, and have some kind of idea of what their dogs are trying to tell us through their body language. So that was a lot of my emphasis on communication, was literally observing their communication, but it was pretty much one way. It was a case of me observing the dog and making some kind of assumption about what I thought the dog needed or didn't need in that moment, and then I would adjust whatever I needed to support that dog in the best way. So it was really a pretty much a one-way conversation, although I had moments where there was some kind of telepathic communication between us. We had odd moments every now and then, but it wasn't a regular thing. And it was certainly nothing that I could tap into and do on a conscious level. If I tried to, I got absolutely nothing. But there were moments where I saw it or I felt something. I sort of got some kind of telepathic reply to what I was asking. And it turned out that it was, spot on and correct. So I knew it was possible, but I certainly couldn't tap into it on a on-demand, let's say, basis. So one of the most profound experiences I had when I was on the course with Joanne was a conversation that I had with my dog Charlie, and that was in connection with a something that was happening in the house where he was getting really excited when my husband, his dad, came home. He normally gets very excited when he wants to greet him and say hello, but over the winter months, for whatever reason, it seemed to get louder and louder. His barking got louder and it lasted longer. And it was more of a sort of an overexcited, more hysterical kind of barking. So usually, he does get very overexcited. He is a very excitable dog. And we have worked with him in the past and been able to support him through that. But this time it had a different feel to it. And I wasn't quite sure why it was suddenly coming to the fore again. So I decided to have a conversation with Charlie, and generally it would have been before I had done this course with Joanne. It was kind of, well, what's going on? How can I support you? What can I do to help you? And this time I used one of the techniques that Joanne explained and helped us to learn, and that was to send pictures or sounds or images to my dog and see what response I got back from him. So what I did was I sent him, he has a lovely sort of happy squealy voice. He makes little squeals when he's really excited and happy. And I thought of these noises and I sort of recalled them in my mind. And I sent this to him and I said, Charlie, these noises are happy noises. And these are noises that we like. We like you to express your excitement in this way. And then I sent him the sort of loud, overexcited, really, loud barking that he was doing. I sent those to him. Brought them up, felt them, and expressed them, and sent those to him. And I said, these are noises that we're not very keen on. They don't make us feel good. They don't make us feel safe. Would you mind rather toning that down and using more of the squealing noises rather than the heavy barking noises? And yeah, it was quite a mind-blowing thing because straight after that, that's exactly what happened. I just reminded him of it before my husband came home. I said, remember our conversation? Remember the little happy squeals? We're happy for you to make happy squeals, but we really don't want to, have all that loud barking. And it was quite amazing. That's exactly what he did. So the outcome that I've seen since working with Joanne has truly shifted my mindset, really, because I suddenly found that it really is possible, that we can tap into these skills, that we all have them, and that it's a lot easier than I actually thought it was, in that I thought, there were these long rituals that I had to do in order to get into a space, like a kind of meditative space, in order to be able to tap in. But I realized that it's actually quite possible in everyday conversation once we learn how to do that. And more importantly, I learned that the depth and the breadth of the conversation is so different, is so much more profound than I actually thought. So it's not a case of you ask a question to your dog and you sort of get a reply in words or in thoughts, as it were, back again. It's really about tapping into all of your senses, and experiencing it from the dog's point of view. So it's really stepping into their pause and actually experiencing it through your senses, like what do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? How does that sound? So it was incredibly in-depth for me, and it made me realize, not only from communicating with my own pets, but also the work that I do with my clients and their dogs, helping me and the client to understand the depth of communication that our dogs really are capable of. So, if there's one piece of advice that I could really give to you if you were considering joining one of Joanne's programs, is that you really can feel 100% safe and able to just share what you think you maybe or maybe not getting. Because I think at the beginning, one of my biggest fears was, well, what if I'm just making this all up? And in Joanne's groups, you feel so comfortable that you begin to share without feeling that you're going to be judged or that you might be silly, because she really encourages you, and nothing is ever wrong. You can't get it wrong. You can only just learn through what she's helping you with. So it's really, really a safe space. So I felt very, very comfortable in her group. And she went above and beyond anything that I expected. The kind of one-to-one, she was always there in the group, ready to answer questions. There were loads of extra bonus material that she gave us. So it was loads more than I thought we would ever get. And that feeling of, as I said, feeling really safe to be able to share and to be able to open up and tap into our experiences and learn from others, obviously, as well. It was really great.